blow down.
Well, I know. Now I feel
way up and I've blown down. I'm only little. Awesome. Welcome. If you're just watching this or if you're watching a recording, doesn't matter, and you're thinking, what the hell are we doing? I'm interviewing all the wonderful speakers that I'm very, very grateful for having present or do workshops for the online summit that starts in a week. I can't believe it's only 7 days. Start to get nervous. So if you haven't registered, there should be a link up there which will take you to, I'll go to like that, to Serena's speaker profile to find out more about her. But she's here now. I've got to do it like that. She's here now. So explain to everybody who you are, what you do.
Well, I am Serena Bobowski and founder of the Bobowski Method, which when I say it sounds like huge and really big. And in many ways, it was a big step for me to take my work into that direction of working with a methodology, which is my own. And essentially, I love how there's this, because very much of the work that I do is connected to Pilates. And Pilates, there's a great deal of reason why, which I want to tell you about a little bit later. But essentially, the methodology that the Bobowski method is, it's founded in two principles. Firstly, the first principle is that your body is always doing its best to heal, cleanse, and rebuild. And what you think is important, but what you feel is the truth. And so, thank you. And so my methodology, it really helps you to ground yourself in those principles, to really understand them from the inside out. And the way that I go about doing that is by working along a system that teaches people to engage with their body and mind every day. And so, it's, it's amazing because right now I feel like this is one of the most important things, is just to be with ourselves every day.
Totally. Absolutely. Because don't you feel that, we're in lockdown, if people are so used to either going to the gym or doing their thing, and all of a sudden, and they're not allowed out, it's, what do I do? But you obviously offer a solution for that at the moment. Has that always been an option for you, or is this something that you've ended up offering because of the situation we now find ourselves in?
It's so interesting. This is something that I've been developing since I was a teenager. I started doing daily self-practice from the time I was about 15. And so I started running long distance and doing that for myself because I felt like it healed my mind and my body. It was an opportunity for me to meditate as I was running for like an hour. My friends in college thought I was crazy because I would wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning in college to go for my daily run. And they were always just like, oh my God, Serena, like, what do you do? And then when I moved to London 23 years ago, I started running. I started doing that same routine as I was doing before in the States, but I found it really difficult. I found London a really weird city to run in. Like usually I'd be able to just jump somewhere and get into a park really easily. It seemed like in London, I'd have to run for like 20 minutes before I could find some green.
Somewhere open.
And So I stopped running, but I really needed to do this daily self-practice. And I started to do using all of the techniques that I had used in the past, using yoga, using, at that time, classical dance and Afro-Brazilian dance. And I took all these little bits and some theater things I had learned, and I sort of strung them together. And I used to do this, what I called a daily warm-up. So the fact is that it's something that I'm quite the expert in, is myself. I found it in myself. And what I found was so important is to be able to teach people to engage with themselves every single day. It's a whole different thing to being able to do it for yourself every day. And so I created a system by which it's a system by which you begin to develop that connection into your body, and your body responds with love and kindness. And so it's something that you want to do.
Brilliant. Love it. And it's something, you know, what I found that even with some, I don't know, yoga instruction, that the focus is so much on the actual practical, whereas they're missing the sort of deep meaning of the whole thing was supposed to be the connecting of the mind, right? And I can totally relate to, I mean, trust me, I haven't been out for a run for a very long time, but when I
that's okay.
When I did, I used to find it very therapeutic running outside, obviously not on a treadmill, because it would be my time to clear my head, sort of go through the day, you know, what's going to be happening in the day. So yeah, I get that whole sort of combining that. I think we all need, everybody needs some kind of a morning ritual, right?
I'm telling you. And you know what? I even down to the simplest moments of the day, the first moment when you open your eyes and the last moment before you go into dream state, into sleep, because those are two moments where we can actually wake up in a state of anxiety, panic. We can wake up with cortisol already running through our body.
Yeah.
And if we can literally connect into ourselves, even just to put our hands on our heart and close our eyes and take a deep breath and just connect, where am I feeling right now? What am I feeling? And then it's okay to be feeling this way, you know? Because we are human. We are going through these different times, these uncertain times. But the reality is we're always going through uncertain times. I mean, those of us who are stepping into life, you know, stepping into ourselves and you know.
Absolutely. Every day is an unknown. It's just that at the moment, it's so obvious. Whereas before, we probably all felt like we were more in control of our, you know, what's going on in the day. But actually, none of us ever were. It's just that now we're stuck at home and it's just so obvious that we don't know what's going on. But actually, that is life, isn't it? And it's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, I mean, this is right. And so one of the things, this idea of being stuck at home, I want to just talk a little bit about the idea or the concept of self-practice in your own home or in your own space where you can engage safely in times and also positively with the environment that you are actually in. So the program that I do, I started working online with people a couple of years ago. And this was part of a method of developing their own self-practice. So I would work with them in their own home. They would have their mat on the floor. And this was a way that I could help encourage them and support them in this time, in their own self-practice. So just thinking about self-practice, there's just a couple of things that come to mind for me. One is what time of day, you know, and I really encourage people to be very relaxed about that. And because we can so easily go, right, at 8:30 in the morning, I'm going to do my workout, right? 9 o'clock rolls around and we're going, shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I haven't done it, right?
Yeah, and it's all lost. All is lost.
It's all over. And now I'm going to give myself a hard time for the rest of the day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's classic. I've been there, you know.
Yeah.
So the easier way of looking at it for me is saying, I'm going to do it in the morning and allow yourself from about 8 o'clock in the morning till 11:30. You know, just say, okay, at some point in the morning, you know, or at some point in the afternoon, or at some point in the evening. So to choose whatever feels right, you know, because you can always change it as well.
It doesn't matter at the moment, does it? And don't be so hard on yourself.
It doesn't. And the beginning of actually making changes and positive changes in our body and mind only comes from a place of love. We cannot make these changes by giving ourselves a hard time.
No, we're not going to stick to it. Or you'll only use your willpower for, it'll only last for so long, and then you'll fall off the bandwagon. And then it's the same with sort of the work that I do. It's completely different with you, but more the nutritious side. You feel like you're caught up in that cycle then otherwise. So it's be kind to yourself.
It is the only way. It is the only way. And this is the thing, because if 11 o'clock rolls around and you still haven't done your workout, but you have that time up till 11:30, you can go in, lie down, take a deep breath, focus your mind, focus your body, and you've done your daily self-practice for the day. Do you see what I mean? It doesn't have to take an hour. It doesn't have, you don't have to keep going with it. It's got to be an hour. It's got to be, I've got to jog 6 miles. Come on. You can breathe for 10 minutes. That's okay.
Perfect. Great advice. Because how do you feel with your own clients at the moment? Do you feel that in general there is a heightened amount of stress because of these times? How are they dealing with this?
Yeah, so my clients, it's so interesting, but again, it's very normal that it's different every day. Some days, and one thing that I found really inspiring for me is that because I respond very much to the moment with my clients, so I'm very intuitive, and I respond to what they're giving me and what they're telling me, and how, what I want to offer them, and for what they need that in that particular.
It's not rigid. It's more individual. It's for the actual individual person coming to you. Much better.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And because of course, as you know, and you know this very well, working with people, everyone is different. Everybody's makeup is different. Everyone's metabolism is different. Everybody's body shape is different. And so you're just working with what you have and the resources that you have to create a great session. But yeah, I would say that what's been great for me is that I've been able to invent new things. Like I've been able to do things I've actually never done with my clients before. Right. Like I do high intensity interval training for myself regularly. Mm-hmm. But I've noticed that because of this time, some of my clients would be swimming regularly, or they'd be on their bike regularly. And then now they're not doing that. So they're kind of craving that lift of the heart rate, and so what's great is I'm actually teaching, my methodology is expanding because I'm teaching.
Brilliant. You've adapted it to the situation. So you've still got the fundamentals of the Pilates, but now you can sort of, brilliant. Well, there you go. It is so interesting that sometimes when we are backed into a corner and, because things haven't quite gone to plan, how we had them planned in our head. And I'm sure you're probably like me, as in, I'm a people person. So just not having that contact is tough. We have to adapt. And, it isn't a problem. And now for you, because where is your studio?
My studio is in my home in Stoke Newington.
So you're Stoke Newington. Yeah. So now you can actually expand your client base because they haven't got to literally come to you. I'm sure, they will again, but for now, this is an opportunity to actually expand your global audience. Thanks, Serena.
Well, and it's exactly what I've been wanting to do, because one of the things I really believe in is working with as many people as possible, which is why I actually created my system and my methodology, which moves away from the kind of conventional teaching of Pilates.
Tell me a little bit more about that. How did that whole thing come about? You've been teaching Pilates for about 20 years, haven't you?
Yes, that's right. And I was certified in New York City with the wonderful the original classical method. And so the way of looking at the body is I learned a lot. I know a lot of the stories of Joseph Pilates, and I feel like my work also carries the spirit of Joseph Pilates through, forward as well. One of his main things was self-practice. He wanted his clients to be able to come into his studio, work on his equipment, without him teaching them, because he believed so deeply in this self-practice. And so I feel like, you know, the spirit is with me. Yeah, one of the things that, wait, what was, where were we going?
So yeah, how did you come about? You have your Pilates background. What made you then decide to actually develop, and now you've got actually your own whole
System. Yeah. Okay. So yes, because of the conventional way of teaching Pilates is that you would work with a client on a regular basis for a number of years, for a kind of indefinite period of time. And what I did is I did that for so many years. And what I found for about 18 years, actually, I mean, I've been working on my methodology for about 5 years now, but I would say I've really just honed it in the last couple of years. But this conventional way of working, it's sort of without promise. It's sort of, yes, our clients change. Yes, their body changes, but there is a codependency that exists between client and teacher. And I want to set people free. I want people to know what I can see in their body, what I can know in their body. I want them to know that too.
Right.
I don't have any secrets about their body. I want them to be able to look at their body, to be able to center it, align their body, and move with grace and flow. And I find that it's very, because of this sort of, we've been taught that this is how we do, or this is how people engage with Pilates. I really want to break those confines down.
No, it makes a lot of sense. You're giving them so much more because you're educating them to actually have more of a full understanding of what they're doing, why they're doing it, how it's going to benefit them, rather than just literally listening to you in a class and doing as you say and then going home and forgetting it. Is that right?
That's right. And even when I teach my classes, which I'll be setting up another couple of classes, online classes, in the next couple of weeks. And one thing that I'm really excited about is that all of the feedback that I get is, Serena, when you do your classes, I understand how these things feel in my body. And that kind of feedback to me, I am so grateful for that feedback, honestly.
There you go. Yeah, you know? That's what it is, isn't it? No, I love it. And I really feel that all of you guys, everyone I've spoken to is on that level. It's about totally re-educating people and empowering them, rather than it being about, you know, I don't feel my business it's not about me. It's about them. It's about empowering them, and then they can go on and hopefully continue with that kind of lifestyle. But you're doing so much. Awesome.
Oh, thank you so much, Karen. It is just, I am so honored to be here. I mean, I've listened to so many of the Facebook Lives, and I'm really so excited for this.
Great group of ladies, right? With a lot to offer. And this was the whole reason I did it, because I personally was feeling pretty low the first couple of weeks of the lockdown. It really hit me hard, like I'm sure it's hit loads of people. And I did get caught up in the whole watching telly, watching the news, getting panicked. I've got asthma, so I was a bit, and then you think, no, enough. No, it's really unnecessary. It's really unnecessary. And I really feel that the stress that people could be feeling right now is doing them so much more damage than possibly the virus ever would. It's going to, it's terrible, isn't it?
Exactly. And one of the things, so just in terms of my, the content of my workshop that I give next Thursday, it's about moving from fear to flow. And basically what it is I talk about, so I work with just to say, because actually, just as everyone knows, there's a practical element. There will be exercises that I'm giving you, some really basic fundamental Pilates exercises to connect you deeply into your body, you know. And when you engage these stabilizing muscles, your body is happy. Ultimately, it's just happier than it was before, so it's really simple. And then I combine that with meditation. So between each sort of section of the work, I do bring meditation in to remind us that we are, and it's okay to be afraid. It's human to be afraid. And there's very good reason why fear exists.
Yeah.
We wouldn't be here today without fear.
No, that's right. That's right. But my real hope is that everybody will find something from somebody, a way to alleviate a lot of that and make them feel good, ready to take on the world when we do get back out again.
Let's do it.
It's interesting. Pilates is the only thing I've probably never actually done myself. So I know. Of all the different fitness workouts I've ever done and taught, and I have never gone into the Pilates arena. Do you teach? Do you do is it just on the mat, or do you do the reformer as well?
I do the equipment as well, and I have some of the equipment in my studio here, which sadly I don't have any clients on it, but it doesn't matter. I'm still using it. It's getting used.
Brilliant. Brilliant. But it does. Everything comes from a strong core. That I do see so many people that, are doing other things. They haven't got that fundamental core strength in the beginning.
Well, one of the things that I say in the very early days of working with somebody is that the connection into your stabilizing muscles immediately makes you confident, because your body, without the strength of the muscles that support the framework of your body, the skeleton of your body, your joints, your bones, without the strength in those muscles, your body is not happy. It is not as happy as it could be if those muscles are strong. I mean, it's like, sometimes
so many. As a sports therapist for 27 years, the majority of people I would see, it would be linked to poor posture, stuck at a desk,
sedentary lifestyle,
shoulders, no core muscles, needing, deep tissue massage. That's only going to calm it at the time, but to solve the problem, oh my goodness, the amount of times it's funny. I would recommend Pilates as a therapy and then never done it myself. So
you see the benefit. You can see the benefit of it though. All massage there, all Reiki people who I've worked with, Rolfers as well, all these people in that world of the fascia, myofascia world, they are amazed. One session of Pilates can change someone's life. Honestly, it's incredible.
The beauty is, I think, with this and with what you're going to be doing, is the fact that, I've known myself, working in gyms all my life, that people who are new, might have a show around the gym, look into a class and think, well, they all look like they really know what they're doing. And it can be very intimidating and very nerve-wracking for them to actually take that step in and come into a class. And the beauty with this, with what you're going to be offering, is that you're offering them a very safe environment. They're going to be in their own home.
Yeah.
Nobody can see them.
I love that.
That's not ideal, I'm sure, for you, with your own online program, you want to see them. That's the whole point. However, as an introduction, it's a very safe, very, very safe way of exercising, and it will give everybody an opportunity who, maybe has never stepped into the Pilates world, and then get to experience it for themselves and see the benefits for themselves.
Yeah. I am certain they will feel I'm certain you'll feel the benefits. I mean, there's just, Oh, cool. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Serena. Well, I really look forward to, so I'm going to be doing it myself.
Great. I'm going to be doing yours too.
If you haven't booked, register, get your ticket, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.